Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style, file in the flash, the speed of thoughts. Second episode for the new season. And yeah, as much as I don't like the show, I jumped on it kind of quick as far as like looking at the episode to be able to discuss it on this talk back. So let us geek about it for a scant few minutes. Now, we have two issues spinning out of the last episode. One, Barry got his speed back, so now we have to figure out how to get the Iris and Sing and Camila out of the Mirrorverse. And Eva McCullough finds out that she is not the actual Eva McCullough. She is just a duplicate some kind of way in involuntary constructs. We know that she can make constructs and duplicates and that sort of thing. She just is apparently involuntary, spontaneously made constructs. So what is she going to do? Given that knowledge, what's going to be the fallout from that? We find out apparently Barry, due to the artificial speed force, he also has increased speed of thought. Now, early on in this episode, there's a tribute to the fallen Wells, and we see this memorial room that they have set up to everybody that they've lost. Cisco's back just in time to cry and just, do his little emo sad face. Killer Frost is back. We find out that Chester is off visiting his grandmother because Chester and Cisco basically amount to the same thing, which is, again, goes back to my issues with the show and just being bloated as far as cast goes, and just, like, what I thought the episode was building to initially with having Barry be super smart was that Cisco is going to feel like he just doesn't add anything and just want to, like, go away, which maybe once they get Camila out of the Mirrorverse, he'll like want to retire and just go live a quiet life with her. I'm hoping and praying, crossing fingers and toes, perhaps even sacrificing small woodland creatures, that's what happens because he needs to go away. Chester does the same thing as Cisco, and Chester brings a new, just a different dynamic. He's still wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. He hasn't seen everything that Cisco has seen. Cisco, in the beginning, was like Chester, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, amazed at all the superhero stuff going on that he's allowed to be a part of. And now he's seen some things. He's got some scars. He's got some wounds from all the years in the fight. Now just let him go away. Because what else are we going to do with him except have him just stand around looking sad, which he does a lot. I don't dislike Carlos Valdez. I think he's a good actor. I think he's been good as Cisco. But at this point in time, let's just get him off the show. Please, for the love of everything holy. But they have the memorial, and then they start working on the problem. Then it's discovered that Barry has, like, super fast thoughts, and he can calculate just complex things in a matter of seconds. Like, there are some sciencey reasons why they couldn't open the portal or why they couldn't pull people from the Mirrorverse, and that I'm not even going to begin to try to interpret the science. Half the time when they start just rattling off sciencey stuff on The Flash or even just Arrowverse shows in general, I just kind of wonder, okay, how much of that is real? How much of that is just people just like, all right, this is a 5-syllable word. Let me use this. They just in the thesaurus, just like, let me find this 16-syllable word for, cat. Oh, there it is. Let's just use that. It's like, do they do that? How much of it is actually actual stuff? So they find out that Barry has these, super fast thoughts, but we then find out that there's a downside to it, that while Barry has super thinking, he's kind of a super dick. Now he's just going on pure thought and calculations, not incorporating emotion into his decision, into his planning, which is why he allows Caitlin to get shot when they go after Eva, because they figure out that Eva has some sort of particles or something on her that is going to, if they absorb them into the tachyon device, they can open the portal to the Mirrorverse and be able to pull somebody out. So while they're doing that, she battles Killer Frost, who makes her grand return, and then she's about to shoot Frost. Barry has a chance to stop it, and then he just stops and just lets it happen because he calculates that the blast won't kill her and that he can, medicate her, tend to her wounds after the fact. So that's when Cisco starts to see there's something wrong. And then it comes time to, there's a decision that has to be made as far as like who they're going to pull out of the Mirrorverse. And Barry wants it to be Iris because she's been in there the longest. She has knowledge that they need to take down Eva. And everybody else is kind of like Sing, Camila, and then it just leads to this Flash fight where Caitlin, or Frost, juices up on Velocity X. They try to fight him. They seem like they get him down, but then apparently he outsmarts him using the quantum ball that we'd seen earlier in the episode. That kind of test, they were using that to test Barry's like super fast thinking. He uses it to actually get the upper hand on him, and he ends up opening the portal, pulling Iris out against her will. She collapses in a heap, has a seizure. The other two folks are left in there. We don't know what's happening to them. They're in some sort of pain, something to do with their connection to Eva, I imagine. And then that's kind of where it leaves Team Flash with Eva. She's trying to destroy her husband's stuff. She has Sunshine, who's continuing to work for her as one of her personal assassins. If there's anything different about her, if she notices anything different about her, which Eva says she's pretty normal, though she has a look that's what Carver looked like when he would like hold stuff for them. She promises not to withhold the truth from them ever. Of course, she's actually been withholding the truth. The fact she's just a duplicate. And then she goes on the show to kind of announce this new direction, new plan, new goal for McCullough. Barry hacks into the feed and shows the video where the real Eva dies, and then the host is left questioning, who is this Eva? What is she? Is she a shapeshifter? She's some kind of meta? And that kind of shatters Eva's world. Barry was using it as a distraction so Eva won't be able to tell that they're opening a portal to the Mirrorverse, and then it kind of leaves Eva broken as can be. And then we see from the tail end of the episode, plus some previews from the next episode, that she is going to now start replacing actual people with mirror duplicates, kind of an invasion of the body snatchers type of thing. That's apparently going to be her grand plan, where if she's not the real Eva, fine, she's going to make sure everybody else is not the real them. They are going to be mirror constructs like herself. I actually kind of like that natural progression from her going to thinking she's the real Eva, finding out she's not, and then wanting everybody else to be like she is, so she is not alone. So that could be interesting if they kind of pull on those heartstrings. And then at the very end, we get a tease of the OG Wells. We see the scene where Reverse Flash comes from the future, steal Wells' face, and then we see apparently some little green particles come up from where he's buried, and it's Wells. Because it's the Flash, it needs a Wells. But apparently this is the actual tried and true OG Wells, who we have not seen on the Flash to this point. So it could be interesting, depending upon how his personality is, how he works or clashes with Team Flash and that sort of thing. They always have to have a Wells. I understand that. Again, it's one of those things where the show has slipped into this formula that I think is just played out, and it's just stale, and it's bordering on super boring, and they just need to do other stuff. When they were getting rid of Wells the last episode, I thought, like, fine, we won't see him again until it's time for the Reverse Flash final season, back half of the final season, for that last final showdown, Flash, Reverse Flash. That's when we should see Kavanaugh's face again. Just let it go away for a while, But apparently that's not how it's going to be, because we have a formula. It's just, the show's been on so long. There's so many things you can do, so many paths you can go. You start retreading stuff, but there's different ways and things you can do. You just have to not be afraid to shake up the status quo. And I think that these CW shows, these writers, these bean counters are so afraid to shake up the status quo, and I don't understand why. It's not like the show's going to be on forever. Hey, just don't be afraid to do something different, to try stuff. If it doesn't work, then change it up again. Just try stuff. Step out of your comfort zone, as far as step out of your narrative comfort zone. That's just all I ask. But I don't know if they're ever going to do it. So that's where we are with these episodes. And of course, Barry, in the end, once he saw that Iris was, having a seizure on the ground, he ended up destroying the artificial speed force. So he destroyed that. He's back to being powerless. Eva's doing this crazy body snatching stuff. So it's like, we had this memorial for the Wells, who gave himself up to create the artificial speed force that Barry just destroyed. So what was the point of the Wells sacrificing himself if this was going to be the outcome the very next episode? It's just, what are we doing? It's like a step forward, a couple steps back. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things. We just have to wait and see how it plays out. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I just have issues. The episode was like okay. It didn't totally suck, but it was just like, I don't know. I have issues, and I'm hoping that my issues, my fears, don't come to pass. I am not confident that they will not. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to watch it just because I have to. No enjoyment whatsoever, but whatever. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me, social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time, until the next super awesome, yet not, episode of The Flash, let us geek.